Marquis, the coolest nerd, thecoolestnerd.net, back with another episode of The Coolest Show. Today is a very, very special episode. We're actually doing an interview. I have a gentleman on the line right now that is actually an award-winning journalist and former NBC editor, Patrick Hickey Jr. And I have him on the line right now. So, Patrick, say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
All right, Mr. Hickey. So, you know, like I just said,
Pat. Mr. Hickey's my father.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, Patrick, the book that you're bringing out, the title, The Minds Behind the Games, Interviews with Cult and Classic Game Developers. Tell us a little bit about the book.
So, try and kind of sum it up in a way that everyone understands. Like, you ever watch a 30 for 30 before?
Absolutely.
Have you ever watched VH1 Behind the Music? Absolutely. So it's basically like every chapter is a 30 for 30 or like VH1 Behind the Music of the game in question. So from Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam to like Wasteland and Night Trap, I take the reader on a journey from the origin of the game to the finished product and like the problems in development, the problems post-release, and the way I do that is I got exclusive one-on-one interviews with all the developers of all of these games. So even like EP for the Atari 2600. So it was a painstaking process at times, but it was a work of love and of passion, and it's like I felt like it was something that needed to be done, considering that many video game books out there today are based on opinion and how much the author knows. And even though, you know, I own over 2,000 video games and I like to think I know a lot, I thought it would be best to let these developers tell their stories for some of them the first time.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I you know, obviously, you know, we spoke about it a little bit before, but, you know, obviously I think it's unique, and I mean, obviously you know that it's unique, and something that we really haven't seen from anyone. And I told you before that, you know, I'm big on history. I think that anything that you do avidly, you know, like myself, I've been playing video games since I was, you know, who knows, 3 or 4 years old. And, you know, starting off with Atari and things like that, a lot of these gamers today don't know about those things, you know, that we kind of came up with. So I think this is a really big deal. And some of the biggest video games, some of the best video games from back in the day, you talk to the developers, the guys that created these games. I mean, Mortal Kombat, I mean, just things that, you know, we really spent a lot of time playing. What was really, I guess, out of I know it's like 30 plus interviews on here, you know, with the developers, what was your like favorite? What was the one that you were most excited about?
Oh, that's such a hard question. But it's basically, I did over 45 interviews because some of the games had more than like 2 main creative leads. So in between, I would say 45 and like 60, because some developers were anonymous and things like that. But for the most part, it's like I got the main 1 or 2 people responsible for the 30. There's 36 games featured in the book.
Gotcha.
I would say the one that I probably enjoyed the most was Howard Scott Warshaw, who did E.T. for the Atari 2600. He also did Yard's Revenge for the Atari 2600. Both of them are featured, so it's like the guy is responsible for the best original game on the Atari 2600 and the worst original game. So it's like, how many people have that type of range? You know, like Michael Jackson can't say that he has the best song of all time and the worst song of all time, you know? So he was just Howard Scott Warshaw is just like a really polarizing guy, really fun to talk to, down to earth, and like, truth be told, when I originally pitched him the book, I didn't want to talk about E.T. because I felt like he had been interviewed about E.T. so many times. So we did like a good 35 minutes on Yard's Revenge, and he gave me this great story about how Yard's Revenge almost didn't make it out of playtesting, that they didn't really, like, Atari didn't have as much faith in it as he thought they should have had, and that it was just a great, really cool, down-to-earth story about how, like, one of the greatest shoot-em-ups almost never made it out of playtesting. And then when we were wrapping up the interview, I started asking, like, questions about E.T. that, like, related to Yard's Revenge, and then he just said to me, like, that, if you want to talk about E.T., we'll talk about E.T. And I was like, okay. So I ended up getting 2 really cool games in my interview with him. It was just magic the way that it happened. So he's a really cool guy, down to earth. He's actually a therapist now in Silicon Valley, and video game developers come to him all the time. So he's like the Silicon Valley therapist. He's a mega cool guy. It's like one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done in my entire life.
Wow. I can only imagine, man. I guess we all kind of, the people that, really are into games like that, we kind of dream of talking to people that really are hands-on like that. So that's awesome that you got an opportunity to do that. Wow. And also, man, I see some other games on here that I played a lot. NBA Jam, things even, I guess, more recently, Deus Ex, Spider-Man 2, I see Toe Jam and Earl. That was one of my favorite games on Sega Genesis.
Great
for sure.
game. Mm-hmm.
Bully, that's wow. I mean, Max Payne, this is crazy, man. What was probably, like you said, you were probably most excited about that interview. What was, if you can pinpoint anything, what was the most interesting thing that you heard from any of the developers? Like, what was like a big problem with one of the games or something like that sticks out in your mind?
I pointed out the problem with Yard's Revenge that it almost didn't come out, and then everyone knows the E.T. story about how E.T. is arguably considered one of the worst games of all time. But Howard Scott Warshaw really got into that 5-week development cycle, what it was like for him working every day, 20 hours a week. A lot of people don't know that. It's easy for them to say E.T. is a crappy game and just trash it. And he really got inside the development process of that game. So I'm eager for people to read that chapter. But also too, there's another game featured, A Boy and His Blob, and that's made by Gary Kitchen, who did Donkey Kong, and David Crane, who did Pitfall. So they're two of the greatest video game developers of all time, especially that early Atari 2600 stage. And they did Boy and His Blob together in about 6 weeks, and they were working about 20 hours a week. 20 hours a day, to get it done. And what happened was, in order for a game to make money, especially even now today, the game has to be released either during the summer, but most of the time during that Christmas rush. So Nintendo had a policy that they had to have the ROM so they could make the cartridges by a certain time. So they worked all those hours to get the game finished, and everyone in Nintendo was playing A Boy and His Blob. In the Nintendo office, they loved the game.
Wow.
But what happened was, if you've ever played the game before, it's basically a puzzle platformer where you have to feed a little blob creature jelly beans, and then he turns into a ladder, and so all these different things to help you get to the next point in the level.
Yeah.
So at certain points, the blob gets lost. It's like a bug in the game. Sometimes he comes back, sometimes he doesn't, so you have to kind of die just to restart the level.
Wow.
And Nintendo wasn't happy about it, so they were like, you need to fix this one bug or we're not going to ship your game. So David Crane basically had a couple of days to reprogram the game. So he ended up creating another jelly bean called a ketchup jelly bean, a ketchup flavored jelly bean. So this way that when you fed it, when you threw it up in the air, the blob caught up and ate it, and there you go, ketchup.
Wow.
But these guys were working 20 hours a day for 6 weeks. They were completely burnt out, and then they're getting all this positive stuff from Nintendo. Oh, we really like the game. And then right before it's supposed to ship, oh, by the way, if you don't fix it, it's not shipping. So pretty crazy. When I spoke to Mark Turmel, who did WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game, and he also did NBA Jam, he told me a great story about how when they were motion captioning all of the wrestlers, The Undertaker refused to work unless he had whiskey.
Wow.
So lots of crazy stories in the book. Like I said, every chapter there's going to be a story that's not on Wikipedia, that's not on the internet. So it's if you're a hardcore gaming fan or a gaming historian, you go on Wikipedia, you go on Game Sutra, you go on Moby Games and all these places, and everything that's in the book isn't on those sites. So it's a really good resource for anyone that really loves video games.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I never heard any of that stuff, so that's that's pretty awesome. Wow, man. Yeah, I really think people need to check the book out for sure. Wow. So just to kind of, I'm going to move away from the book just for a second.
Sure.
The state of gaming today. I mean, do you still, are you an avid gamer still today?
Oh yeah, still I'm the editor in chief and founder of ReviewFix.com. So I get games to review all the time. A lot of indie games now because that's where my heart is. I love those small indie projects and stuff. But I get a ton of PS4 games, Switch games, and Xbox One. So I'm 3DS. I'm still gaming on the regular. So yeah.
All right, cool. So I mean, I know for myself, does gaming kind of pull you in all directions? Like, you find it difficult to really balance, all the things you have to do gaming, especially doing reviews, with still fitting in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's always a rush. It's hard because I'm assistant director of the journalism program in Kingsborough Community College. I'm a full-time college professor. And I'm also a dad. I have a beautiful baby that's 4 months old.
Oh, wow.
I'm married. I run that entertainment website I told you about. I write hockey for the hockeywriters.com. So it's rough sometimes trying to find a half hour, 45 minutes a day just to get some some Fallout 4 in or something, or some Pokemon, or just something to kind of relax. But it's if it's something that you really care about, you make the time. So, it's if you're a gym rat, you find the time to, hit the gym every day. If you love video games and you love, the storytelling devices and stuff, you find the time. So, luckily, I come into work a little bit early. I grade my papers. Like this morning, I was playing Thief's Story on the Switch a little bit in my office, calming down before I start my classes. Today, on my way home, I'll take the train and I'll play a little bit more. So, it's like anything, it's moderation. When I'm on vacation from work, and, the baby's sleeping, I can get a little bit more in. If my wife doesn't need me to do stuff around the house, I can get a little bit more in. But, it's so much better now than when I was 13, 14, because I was buzzing through RPGs in 3-4 days, and it's I didn't appreciate them as much. When you can only play for 45 minutes, an hour a day, it just makes that appreciation for the medium so much more. At least that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. Wow. It's really, it's refreshing. I know people are going through the same things that I'm going through, but it's still refreshing to hear it from somebody and let everybody know how tight your schedule can be. That's
oh yeah,
it's a difficult thing. All right, man. Oh wow. Again, I'm excited about the book. So when is it? When are you looking to release it? When is it going to be put out?
So the tentative release date is late 2017, early 2018. So I would say the earliest would be October, and then the latest would be January.
Gotcha.
So the cover is being designed as we speak. The pre-order link, if you go to McFarlandBooks.com and you search my name, the pre-order link is there. So you can pre-order it now if you want to. So it's the manuscript, it's done, it's being edited. I got a couple more cons to speak at. Speaking at the ColecoVision Retro Expo on August 5th in Addison, New Jersey, and then I'm speaking at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo on August 13th. So I've already spoken at a bunch of different cons and stuff like that. So I'm in full on pre-release book tour mode. I just did an interview a couple weeks ago with Huffington Post. I got an interview with Forbes this week. I got you. I got RetroWare TV. I'm doing an interview with. So it's I'm just in full on. I want as many people to know about this project as possible. Because I said before, it's an absolute passion project. I love video games. I've been playing video games since I was 2-3 years old. They helped me learn how to read, how to live, how to love, how to laugh. So it's just it's a huge part of me. I'm just really happy that this book is almost out.
Yeah. Wow. That is absolutely awesome, man. Well, we'll be definitely on the lookout for it. And, we'll make sure that everybody knows about it. As many people as we can get to view this and listen to it, man. I really appreciate your time, man, and hopefully I'm able to meet you face to face at one of these conventions or something here soon.
Yeah, I would love to meet you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Much appreciated.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Well, that's it, man. So I guess maybe next time, or when we get another interview with you, we'll speak further about it, man. But you have a good one. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I'll send you some links too if you want, to the pre-order link and the cons and stuff. This way you can put them in the post if you can.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Please do.
Thank you so much, man. If you want, I'll send you a picture too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know they want to see your face, man. So it's all good.
Excellent. Thank you so much, man. Have a great one.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. So that was Patrick Hickey Jr. Y'all gotta check that book out, man. And that's pretty much all I wanted to do today, man. I wanted to make sure that y'all know about this. Again, let me go back here because I want to make sure that I don't mess this title up. It's definitely a little bit long, but you know, something that you guys should definitely know about. It's called The Mind Behind the Games: Interviews with Cult and Classic Game Developers, man. Like Patrick said, it's going to be out sometime between October and probably like February. So I'll make sure that I keep you up to date on the website, on thecoolestnerd.net, and I'll make sure that I mention it and put it out there in the podcast, as well as some of my gameplay videos, man, to make sure that it stays fresh on your mind. But till next time, man, shut up and play.